Today I'd like to set a Martini earring. I'm going to be setting a 5mm stone in the earring. This stone measures a 5.03, and I want to use a 70-degree heartburr that's a little smaller than the stone. So the stone is measuring a 5.03, and I'm going to take the 70-degree heartburr and measure. And this is measuring about a 4.85. So this is going to be the burr that I'm going to use to cut the seats for the Martini earrings. This is a Martini earring, and this is the clamp that I'm going to be putting the Martini earring in to set. I'm going to be using this clamp. It's going to hold it down, keep it still while I'm cutting the seats, and the little pins inside is going to keep the earring from spinning on me while I cut the seats. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to start cutting my seat halfway down the prong, and I want to cut 30% depth into the prong. I'm going to check and make sure I cut my seat straight. I'm going to go to the next prong. And I want to make sure all my seats are cut the same height. You don't want to cut one seat higher than the other seat, because when you do go to put your stone in and pull in the prongs, your stone's going to sit crooked. Go back in, cut just a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm ready to set my stone, but first I'm going to have to take the pins out that are holding the earring in place. And this is the reason why when you go and put your stone into the earring, you're going to see here that your culet is touching the pins. So I'm going to take the stone out, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the pins. So now I'll be able to put the stone back in. Okay, now that I've removed the pins, I've got the stone in the earring, and I'm ready to pull in the prongs to tighten the stone. So I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to brace myself here on the support bar, and I'm going to take the other part of my pliers, and I've got it on the top back of the prong, and I'm just going to pull in just a little bit. And I'm going to do this to all three prongs. And I'm going to keep going to each prong and pulling it in just a little bit at a time. You don't want to pull one prong in too much, more than the other prongs, because then you're going to end up with a crooked stone. So now I want to check and see if my stone is tight. Just going to kind of hold this prong down to keep the earring still. I'm going to pull this prong in just a little bit more. Okay, so the stone is set. And it's tight. Now what I like to do is just go ahead and prep the prongs. I'm going to take a file down the prongs a little bit, and then I'm going to take a cut burr to it and round it out.
So another option that you can use is the sanding disc to bring down the height of your prongs. You just want to be careful not to get too close to your stone, because the sanding disc will scratch it.
So now that I've filed my prongs down, I'm ready to move to my cut burr. Using my cut burr to round out the top of the prongs. You want to make sure you use the right size cut burr. You don't want to go too small because you're going to leave a ring around the top of your prong. So you're going to cut burr all 3 prongs the same height. You want to move the cut burr in a small circle on top of the prong. And now the Martini earring is set.